Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Michael Clark, owner of Culture Shock Investments here. Today we are going to be going through some price levels. Heavy earnings week this week. All the big boys report earnings this week. We got Microsoft, Apple, all reporting earnings along with companies like ASML, who's also major in the tech sector. Okay, so you want to keep an eye out and see what's going on with those. I don't like trading earnings, so I don't plan on necessarily trading those companies for earnings, but I do plan on holding Microsoft through earnings and Apple as far as shares go, but I'm not sure about option contracts yet. I'm very tempted to play an option contract on Microsoft only because they've been so depressed for the last few weeks since their last two earnings that I believe this is earnings reports. They're either going to crash or they're going to pop and reclaim that 500 level, which I think that is more likely with where I see everything going with AI and tech. I don't really see any reason for them to kind of miss and go down drastically. But you never know with earnings. That's the thing with earnings. It's a 50-50 proposition. You never know. So you got to take it in stride. We had some interesting news going on today. Let's put the CoreWeave chart because we had CoreWeave up because they just got $2 billion invested in them, $2 billion more dollars invested in them from NVIDIA. So right now you see because of that they took that little jump up from 95. What is it? It went from 96 up to 102 right now it's showing. But they're showing to reject and probably going to try to refill this gap right here on the daily. But the news is strong enough and stays in strong enough, they'll hold 101. It won't get below 101 and start bouncing back up towards this 105 call entry I got for CoreWeave this week. And 110 is that target. But if we get below 101, then that's when you want to start hunting for puts because this gap refill is more likely to happen at that point. So keep an eye out for that gap refill on CoreWeave and see if the support holds. If the support holds, we're more likely to bounce. But $2 billion investment from NVIDIA, they're obviously heavily invested in the success of CoreWeave and want to see CoreWeave succeed. So I believe CoreWeave is going to get a lot of access to the exclusive technologies and chips, which will help CoreWeave have a better advantage in their industry when it comes to development. Okay? Let's go on. What else is happening in the news? Google settles a Google Assistant privacy lawsuit. So Google had a lawsuit. They had to pay $68 million to settle a lawsuit claiming that its voice-activated assistant spied inappropriately on smartphone users, violating their privacy. A preliminary class settlement was filed late Friday, San Jose. So Google admits that they've been listening to your conversations without your permission, and they paid $68 million fine to do so. Do you think that's enough to stop them from doing that? I don't think so. I think they're still listening. So be careful what you're saying around your phones, your Siri and Google Home devices and Alexas, because they're all listening all the time. This is just proof of that. See, I said Siri, look at my phone, start listening now. Start listening. Creepy stuff. So pay attention to what you're doing and what information you're giving out and what you're saying around these devices. I know it's going to be hard because they're all over the place, but it's just going to force you to be more conscious, self-conscious, self-conscious of how you're speaking, what you're saying, how you're saying it. Because next thing you know, you're an immigrant and ICE is coming for you. No, okay. Oh, man, USA. But let's go on with some more news. Let's see. U.S. rare earth. U.S. rare earths are picking up today. USAR. I saw them getting more government investment because we are interested in rare earths because we need as much raw material and commodity material as we can get to help make these AI factories and these new data chips that need to be made. It's all a resource race right now. It's usually always is a resource race, but now it's intensifying because of this new technology. Before, the world had a known set of resources, a known set of requirements or needs for those resources. So those markets always stayed balanced. and people mined for them as needed, but it wasn't like overly aggressive. Now, because of the advent of AI and new technology, these rare earths are going to be sought after heavily. So you're going to see more global conflict because of that, because people want more access to these resources and the land that holds them. You're going to see heavier investment from governments into those companies that help refine and modify those rare earths into usable uh, minerals and chemical compounds that they can use in the chips and the technology and computers and everything that they needed for in cars. But that's what we're going to see over the next 3 to 5 years, and that's going to amplify only because we have new technology. It was no need to amplify all that before because it would have just been a waste. It would just have you would have been hoarding commodities, hoarding um, rare earth minerals for no essential reason because you had no real application to use for them. You just had them. It would have been smart to do because you would have had them ready for a moment like now, but nobody wanted to put that level of investment out there to get these rare earths minerals because they didn't have a use case or a high enough use case. But now we do. AI, blockchain, cryptocurrency, all these new technologies means we need more minerals out the earth because this is how everything is made. From the dust of the earth, dust of the dust. Okay? So expect more push coming in that area. What's going on? Why are you going crazy right now? What's going on? I got so many alerts going on. How does that happen? Yeah, 1,000 alerts going off like that. Okay, the market's pushing back up. Good. That's what I want to see. We had a little pullback here in the Qs, but we're about to break the 626 level. We get to 627.91. 628 is pretty much where I like to enter some calls on the Qs to play them above 630. But if you want an early entry, the 626 level is not bad. If it holds, closes the hourly above there. So when it comes to trading options or investing in or trading in the market, period, if you're doing short-term trading, you always want to wait before you enter that trade or that investment. You want to wait for confirmation on a specific time frame. I usually tell people like the daily or the weekly. But if you're intraday scalp trading, you can look for confirmation on the hourly. Once you get an hourly candlestick closing above a certain level that you marked on the chart, then you can feel comfortable entering that trade to reach your next target level. And you always got to have your stop loss up on there as well. But if you're unsure on how to trade options, I got the option course available on the YouTube channel. Go check that out. Options 101 for the beginners. All right, let's keep going through some news here. I saw all those alerts going on. Made me nervous for a second. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. We went through CoreWeave, Morgan Stanley, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't like much outside of the Google privacy lawsuit payment and the CoreWeave deal. I'm not seeing much news today. Trump didn't say anything crazy, thank God. We have, like I said, the main thing I believe it is the earnings this week. That's what we're going to be looking for. So we got major earnings that we got to watch out for. And the companies I'm going to look at, let's pull up some of those charts for you real quick. ASML is one of the companies I'm going to look at through earnings. Doesn't mean I'm going to trade them or invest in them, but I want to see what they do post earnings. So ASML has been unstoppable. I was trying to catch ASML down at $1,000. I was hoping after this little pop right here, we'll get one more little pullback down there, 1,000. I could get in. As you see, it never came back. Never came back. It just kept going up. Kept going up. Now it's at $1,400. It's always painful when you were right and you didn't get it in time, though, because you saw the move coming. I saw this move coming. ASML is probably going to push to the level where it's going to have to do a stock split. They're going to push towards $2,000, and around that time, they're going to do a stock split. Maybe a 10 for 1, and you'll be able to get the shares for like $200 a share, $180 to $200 a share. But this $1,000 level, this was the level. This was it. This is what I wanted. If you're not familiar with ASML, do the research. They're a major player in the chip industry. So I'm watching them this week. I said Microsoft, of course. Pull up the Microsoft chart. Microsoft has been heavily depressed. You see Microsoft has been pretty beat down. It has a double top pattern that we had coming in. It played out, that double top. to the target of 425. It almost came right down to the target of double top. Now, if I would have told you that when Microsoft was at 550, you would have told me I was crazy. If I told you, oh, Microsoft double top and it's coming down towards 430, 440, you'd be like, yeah, all right, that's crazy. But do not disrespect the patterns. Do not disrespect the trends. Do not disrespect the price levels. Always put what you think in the far, far back, right, as an opinion. After you look at the charts and everything, if your opinion remains the same, then that opinion is probably strong. But if after you look at charts and level, if all the things you look at do not align with your opinion is probably wrong. So if you say, oh, Microsoft is not going to pull back that crazy, but everything is showing you it is, maybe you have to reconsider where you stand and what you're seeing, because obviously it's not being seen on any other indicator, any price levels, no price levels are agreeing with, and no trends are agreeing with. If you don't get an agreement from a trend, price level, or a pattern, then you're probably on the wrong side of the trade, at least for now, you know? So those are the three things I like paying attention to: the trend, the chart pattern, and the price levels. With those three things, if all those things are aligning with each other, you have more than a 90% chance of things going in your favor, whether it be to the upside or downside. Okay. Let's see who else got earned this week. Tesla. Let's look at Tesla. Tesla got this magical level at 444 that I like. You see Tesla, for me, the price level 444 support. They're below that support level for me right now. They're not in the bullish pattern. They're showing a bearish pattern. They're actually in the bearish and bullish pattern together, but you see I got two bullish targets down, two bearish targets compared to the one bullish target I got on the weekly. This is a weekly chart. So I'm more inclined to believe Tesla is more likely to have a pullback coming up than a push. Even if they push up towards 500, they're most likely going to reject again, putting the triple top, and then come back down here. So a push on Tesla, anything that's not above 490, I don't consider a real rally or push, and expect it to pull back if it doesn't clear above there after earnings. If it can't clear 490 after earnings, it has a high chance of pulling back. Now, remember, this is crazy. I don't think this is possible. But they're pretty much saying Tesla's not really worth anything. That's what the price level is telling me. Right, $2 this year. They're trying to tell you Tesla's really not worth much, which we know on paper may be true, which is what these targets may be picking up in these chart patterns. But we know Elon is very innovative and he has things on the precipice of being released. So once that new technology is released and is available for public use, these is going to start putting a new pattern on the weekend. They won't be so bearish. But I do believe it does hold a strong potential to pull back to 350 if it does not have a good earnings report. And Elon Musk doesn't have any real timeline or promise for when these robots are going to be hitting the streets, because that's what everybody's looking for: robotics and autonomous driving. So if he has no real timeline on when that is going to be fully immersive in the country, then this is going to pull back, because that's what people are really giving this company value based on. So yeah, we can see it pull back to around 320, 350. Look for 355, 360 to hold on that pullback. If it doesn't, then we're going for a further collapse to below 300 on Tesla. Remember, you heard it here first. The Culture Shock community lets you know first. Be careful with Tesla. All right, let's move on. Let's look at Meta. I know everybody loves Meta. Let's talk about Meta earnings this week. Meta has a good potential to take off. Let me see. I don't see any real patterns in on it, but it is getting there. It's within a range right now between 600 and 670, which is about a little bit over 10% move. So that's a 10% range it's sitting in right now. And when it breaks out, it's going to break out to like see right here. I see around 720. Let me see the level I got on it. Yeah, I got a level up here at 701. But I really feel like if it's going to have a push, it's probably going to make that big push up to the bottom of these weekly resistance. Right up here. So I'm looking at the price levels right here on the weekly. You'll see that it hit some resistance back here back in June of 2025 before we broke out. So I'm looking for that 709, 710 to break. It hit it again right here. You'll see. It hit it again. again right here on the week. This was the week of December 8th. Test that 710 rejected immediately. So next time we touch 710 when it breaks, that's when it's going to be takeoff season. That's what we want to look for. I'm going to put an alert on Meta right here at 677 because that's a weekly level as well. I think we can make that a call entry if you were really looking to play calls this week. Like I said, I'm not looking to play earnings on Meta. If anything, I might play them post earnings. Hopefully, they're still below 710 and can catch them before they make that breakout back into the 760s, 750s. Who else we got earnings on this week? So that's Meta. Let's see what Zuck does. Let's see what the Zuckerberg does. See what he comes out and says. And then we got, who else we got? Visa. I'm not really interested in Visa. Sophie. I'm kind of interested in Sophie. Sophie has earnings on Friday. Sophie is one of the financial companies I like following. SoFi. Digital banking, which is the mode the whole world is headed towards. Digital banking. Sophie specializes in this. And I can see them. Let me see. Let's go back. Let's look back a little bit. They holding strong support. We're at this $23, $24 level. You're not gonna get down below that before earnings.
Bro, when you get a chance, do levels on Capital One.
Capital One.
Yeah, I like them up next. They coming out with a luxury line that's gonna rival Amex.
Yeah, American Express got earnings on Friday too. Shit.
American Express, they've been owning the luxury death line for a while.
Yeah. Amex cards, black cards, and all that. Yeah, Sophie earnings gonna give you potential pop to like 28, 29. If Sophie earnings don't push it above $29 and close above $29, then it's gonna be a fake out. Get ready to get rejected. So Sophie earnings don't give us a push. That's a decent percentage push. If it can't push us, if Sophie earnings don't push it more than 15%, then it's gonna reject again. If it doesn't push above 15% within a week after earnings, it's gonna reject. Yeah, so keep an eye out, Sophie, $30. That's a level I like on them for earnings. And let's look at Capital One. COF. They're at the bottom of a rising wedge. Okay, so they've been in this little rising wedge range for a minute now. They're actually at the bottom of it, so this is probably a good time for them to have a bounce. They could bounce from here.
Playing them at the weekly.
Yeah. In the weekly, it was in the rising wedge pattern. And
They just put up another sell block on the weekly though.
Exactly. So they got that two downs to fill, two downs and now. If they start catching support right here, this will be the crucial timing for them to do it. If not, they're gonna start breaking down towards that target. They got a target on them on the weekly down around where they bottomed out here in what was this, April, around 140, 150. Sheesh. I don't see them coming down that low. I see them catching themselves probably around $200. If they break below that 199 though, yeah, it could get ugly.
Yeah.
But I like them.
You can keep an eye on them. They still overall bullish on the weekly. Got an uptrend on the weekly going back from like
From April.
2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even from 2020. Yeah, even from back then. Yep, they still been bullish from back then, 2023. So, like I said, they're on the bottom portion of that uptrend. So right now, if it's gonna bounce, it's gonna bounce like soon from where it's at right now.
Right.
So this will be a time to catch it. Keep an eye on it. See when it starts catching itself. Maybe even on. Let me see. Did it put a 2 up on the daily yet? Nah. So on the daily, now I'm looking at the daily chart. You see, we got 2 gap downs on the daily. So when it gets above 227, I think that's the time. That's gonna be a good time to start jumping back in before it starts refilling that gap.
Right.
Because I got a nice little gap down from 248 down to like 230, 233. So
Right.
that
If you're
gap
gonna close a daily above 230 with the FVG, I like it.
take off. Yeah, I like that. I'm putting an alert on them right here at 226.70. Now let me know that they putting a 2 up on a daily or a 3 bar. They got above that drop from Friday. We can start looking at the cap. Cap little one. I like
Yeah, but
finance,
I
man.
like Capital One for this year.
Yeah, I like the finance sector this year. XLF, man. I'm telling you, I think XLF is gonna take off. The XLI, the industrial, I mean the industrial ETF, the Capital One. Yeah, I like Capital One. And a nice little pullback right now. Yeah, this is a good opportunity. Let's see if they don't. If they should catch support, they really got to buy and block. They shouldn't get no lower than 211, 210. If they get lower than 211, 210, then they might be going for that 200. But let's see if they hold. If they hold 210, it should be okay. I'm gonna put entry on them at around below right here 210, 209.80. Okay, call, but all right, cool. Capital One is set. So 226, I like as call entry. Like you said, or 230. If you want more confirmation, wait for that 230, close above there, a daily close above there. And then ride that way back up to refill that gap. You can refill that gap on Capital One back up to 248. And you will probably hit a little roadblock right around 234. There's going to be a level. And then there's definitely another level sitting up here at 239. And then 242. Okay. Okay. And on the downside with the put, you want to look for a put target. I think this will be the first level for the put.
Do
206.
do. I mean, if it's not too much, do TTD. I know that's an ugly name right now, but
TTD, yeah, man. Let's see. They got good financials though.
honestly, I can see OpenAI buying TTD.
They got good financials, man.
They got good financials. They have a good business, and OpenAI's they're gonna get into advertising. At least they're gonna be purchasing it soon.
Let me see. They just
And I like
appointed
these
a.
AI companies to buy a strong hold advertising company
Okay.
and automate.
Trade Desk promotes a new CFO. Okay. Okay.
Silver hit another new all-time high.
Silver's go. Silver and gold. Ah,
Back to back to back. It's scary.
you just gotta let it go, man. It'll come back for us.
Bro, did you see the chart I showed you about how the jobs openings used to always line up with SPY up until tech?
Yeah, up until AI. And that's what the wealthy people are seeing. What they're saying that's why they keep preaching this whole thing about there's about to be like some kind of universal income. Like people are not gonna be able to really work to afford the cost of living. There's going to have to be some kind of universal income because there's going to be so many machines doing so many tasks that it's going to cut the workload of humans down by like 70%. And how are we going to supplement that income? They're talking about people getting universal income because countries are going to be making so much money and companies are going to be making so much money because they're not going to have to pay people. They're going to do all these insurance plans, health insurance. So now just give the people the money. That's what they're saying. That's what Elon's saying. He's saying nobody's going to be rich. I mean, nobody's going to be poor. But you already know people are going to fuck off their money and end up poor.
Hmm?
There's gonna be people that know what to do with it, and there's gonna be people that's gonna just fuck it off. And then I think once they do that, once they give you the supplemental income, and you fuck off your money, then you're gonna be in a different type of poverty because there's not gonna be no more money coming after that for they're gonna do probably like stipends like every like maybe 3 years 4 years. I don't know how they're gonna run it, but it's gonna be like if you fuck up this money, ooh, you're gonna be in a bad position. Let's see, TTD. I had a bottom level on them at $50. They tanked down below that. They've been in a. Let me go to the weekly chart.
32 is my next bottom level on that.
You know what's crazy that they're in a falling wedge pattern. The falling wedge pattern is very bullish pattern. You know the target they got on that?
Extremely bullish. That's what I'm saying. Like,
You know the target they got
whenever
on
they
that
drop,
shit, dog?
a earnings call is going to take them through the roof. The way it's setting up, a earnings call is going to take
Take them through the roof, bruh. The target on the falling wedge for them right now is at 150, bro, on the weekly. That's crazy.
That's it.
That's sick. That's the target of the falling wedge right now, 150.
So that lets you know that whenever it do pump, it's going to minimum 75 after that.
Right, exactly. At least you're gonna get at least around back to 75, 77.
Right. You're not going to get no chance. You're not going to get no chance.
No, it's gonna happen fast. It's gonna be very quick. It might be a gap. Alright, so if I'm watching them on the weekly, the key level that I see they got to break right now, if they start getting back above, it looks like $40.85, then that's gonna be a wake up sign. Uh-oh, something's happening here. Because they haven't been above $40. They haven't been able to close above $40 since Thanksgiving. Yeah, so if they start closing back above $40, I can see that as a long call entry. I like long call, yeah, long call. Mm-hmm. 150. What they know, man. Listen, that's what I said. Look for the patterns, the levels, and the trends. If you could get at least two of those to line up with each other, if you can see a pattern that's showing you something bullish, and you can see a support level holding something bullish, then you got two things aligning. You know, but if you can't align at least two things like a trend, a pattern, and levels, you can't align two out of those three, then it's probably not a thing. Something's not there. Hey, TTD. Who else got earnings this week that I know the people like to hear about? Who like talking about Starbucks? Starbucks has earnings this week. Starbucks has actually been on a nice little recovery bounce. I'm not gonna lie. Let me erase all these old levels down here. Based on where we are now. This is probably a level range I would put for them. Let's see what these levels say. Let's see what these levels say for Starbucks. I already had some price levels set around this range. So right now, if I was gonna do Starbucks, I would take the $96 call entry, 97. Ride that up to 98.13 and 99.95 would be the second target. They pull back below 94.50, and they got earnings. They got earnings coming up this week on Wednesday before open. So keep an eye out and see what Starbucks does. Let's go to the screeners, man. Let me see what my screeners are talking about, man. Let me see. Let's go to the bounce screener. The bounce screener, I love the bounce screener, boy. Lets me know some shit that is depressed and is getting ready to take off soon. So Robinhood is on my bounce screener. This is the second time it's bounced up in Avgo. Avgo has been on my bounce screener now for about a week. Avgo and Palantir. Let's look at their charts. Let's pull up Avgo. These have strong potential for bounce right now. Avgo is at 324. It's actually had a crazy two down on the weekly. They put in a one bar right now. They put a two up on a daily, which is nice. They refilled the gap from the gap down that they did from Thursday to Friday. This is the gap right here. This was the gap right here, so we filled that back up. And now we get a nice push. We get a nice push up until about probably like 3:30. So where would I want to enter these boys? Where would I want to enter? Broadcom. If Broadcom could get back over, Broadcom get back over 335. I'll try to get. Yeah, 335. That's on the way. I'm gonna put this as an alert that they bounced. Bullish bounce. Fuck. I didn't say my alert. What's going on here? I got too many alerts here. Where AMD at? Did AMD start pushing again this week? I gotta double check AMD. Let me get my alert. Oh, it's on me.
Where AMD at?
AM Dizzle at 252. They had a nice little pullback from last week. They was at 260 last week. 260.50 was the call entry. Put entry I had at 253.74. They at 252.70 right now. So they just got a little put entry. Put that alert back on for AMD because AMD could go through a nice little pullback.
Okay, well, what good is that? What I gotta do? On Kia moi.
I'm saying I didn't set the alert. What the fuck? But it's on there.
No.
That's all that matters. Okay. Let's go back look at CoreWeave right now. They still holding that 101 level, like I said, was crucial earlier for them to hold. If they're not going to refill the gap down. Yeah. If they don't hold 101, they're going back down to 96. Before taking off again. What we got the Qs doing right now. Right. Now the Qs is pushing. Qs is above 626, going for that 627.90 level. Let me see. Let me put that price level in over here for the Qs this week. The Qs. Oh, Qs same level from last week. 627.91 call entry. Yep, that's the call entry. That's the true call entry. Because the Qs really, for me, got to get back above 630. I need to see the Qs back above 630. I feel like everybody's been pushing SPY, the Dow. Everybody's been making all these new all-time highs. IWM. Everybody making all these new. The Qs, they have not been able to get back above 630. They have not. And that shows the lag that tech has been having in the market. Tech has been lagging. But that means everything else is starting to catch up, which is good. You want to see breadth in the market. You wanted to see one sector leading the whole market, and anytime that sector wobbles, the whole market wobbles. So right now, I think everybody else is starting to catch up. So tech lags for a little bit. Huh?
Corey's up 10%.
Yeah, man. Corey jumped crazy today when Jensen was talking about them this morning. Yeah, they went from like 90 something to like almost.
That's one of my plays for this year. I said Corey behind closed.
Yeah, hurry up before they start going crazy. Next thing you know, they be back at 140. That's what I like. I said I like Corey for a long call. This is not a short call I'm looking for on Corey. This is a long call. I'm looking for something like at least like 3 months out, a quarter. I want to say.
I also like CLSK this year, bro. I think this is the final year it's gonna stay in this range. It's gonna stay above 20 after this year.
CLSK. Yeah, them boys got smacked today. They down 10% today. CLSK
But
gotta get back up.
they have that type of volatility, so I ain't worried.
Yeah, if they get back above 1550, I like them. CLS get back above 1550. They haven't been above there since. They haven't been back above 1550 since November 10th. So if we get back above 1550, that's gonna be a wake up sign. Put that alert in and let me know when that shit happens, Mark. I might jump on that with you. Let me see. I was talking about the Africa ETF earlier, and I don't know if you was in here. AFK gapped up last week from 27. Like when we first started looking at it was like $26 when we first started looking at the Africa ETF. Now it's at 29. AFK, telling you that shit about to go, boy. AFK about to take off. I just bought some shares today because I'm like, I'm not missing this. I didn't get.
To be honest, that's our only true pipeline to invest in the Africa right now, at least safely.
That's the only one that we got. That's the only way to do it. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going in. I'm getting shares. I'm starting to buy shares. I start off with like a quick 50. And I'm gonna start adding. I'm gonna keep adding.
And it only has 4.6 million shares, bro.
Exactly, dog. So they ended up, dog. You already know what's to come. You already know what's to come when people start getting onto this as an investment tool into Africa. People gonna find out about this. It's gonna start going crazy.
Right.
And they had to split and put out more shares for people to buy. But they're looking really good on the daily. So I'm gonna put them on the chart. Actually, I'm gonna put them on my long-term call-out list. I'm not even gonna put them on the price level chart. They gotta go into the long-term call-out list. Into that chat. I gotta got them into there. That's what I'm gonna do. Make sure I do that right now.
I gotta go do some direct research on their holdings because there's a whole bunch of companies I never heard of course, since it's Africa.
Right, right.
But still go do all my research on all their holdings.
The reason why I got confidence is because they're managed by Van Eck. That's the only thing that gives me confidence. That.
Right. You know, Van ain't gonna do no fuck shit.
Exactly. Oh shit. Put this screenshot of this. Put it on a monthly chart actually. Africa. Ooh, look at the target they got on the monthly. They got a target up at $40. What pattern is this? A falling wedge. Oh, they broke out of a falling wedge pattern on the monthly, and they've been pushing ever since. Okay, okay. They look a lot like TTD,
Cool.
AFK. The falling wedge that they just broke out of. They broke out of a falling wedge on the weekly. I mean on the monthly. Ever since they broke out of that, it's been pushing. The falling wedge target is $39.54. That would have sounded crazy to somebody when that shit was sitting at $12. But now they start to see, oh, hold on, that target may be right. It's the same thing now with TTD. Yeah, that price target sounds crazy, 150, but because it's at $30. But listen, the pattern aligns with our sentiment and believing it's a strong company and a support level. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that coming. So I'll put a level up there.
All right. So AFK biggest holding is Moroccan Bank.
Okay.
That's been around since 1904.
Okay.
Their numbers are fucking nice.
Nice. Moroccan man. Okay, Bank of Morocco. Okay. I gotta send you the screenshot I took last night too of this lecture. That Asian dude was giving a lecture I listened to, and he put up the board. He put up like this board and showed all the international banks that like a lot of the wealthy multifamilies like to use. I said, oh shit, I haven't even heard of some of these banks before. That's how I know this is true. I had to screenshot that. So I got to go through some of those banks. The Cayman Islands was on there, of course. You had the Deutsche Bank. You had all that stuff on that list. But he had some other ones that I never seen on some different islands that rich people use for harvesting their money and sheltering their money from global
All
events.
right. So the second biggest holding is a mining company that operates gold mines in Cote d'Ivoire, which is Ivory Coast,
Mm-hmm.
Burkina Faso, and Senegal.
Mm.
I gotta go do research to see if they got their mines going in Burkina Faso.
And if they don't, imagine when they start getting it going, how that's gonna pop. Oh yeah, I'm definitely investing in AFK, boy. All right, so we'll put a target. We'll put a target on them at 30.88. That's
Yep,
it.
they still operate the mines as of early 2026. They have nothing to do with the French mining companies that was expelled.
Let's go. Get them boys about it. Fuck the French.
As of 2026, as of 2026, Endeavor operates the Honda 90% owned and Mana 90% owned mines in Burkina Faso.
And that's where I think this big push is about to come from, that reclaiming of ownership
Right,
of the commodities.
right. Hello?
Target. Let's go. Let's go. We're gonna put that in there. We're gonna hit that. I know we are. AFK, if AFK, $26 entry. I'm getting these levels. And this is what they gotta take. If you don't take these levels, then that's gonna be on you. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I like that. The second biggest holding, they still getting gold out of Burkina Faso. But I want to know if that's going to keep going with America trying to, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's what America's trying to stop, bro. That's what they see. They see this chart too. They sitting there looking at the same chart like, oh, these motherfuckers going up. They're growing too fast. And we not involved in that enough. Or we not getting enough money from that. $26 entry.
Oh man, I like it so far, bro.
Yeah, dog. Invest in the motherland, man. That's the way that we got to do it. For now. Because we're going to be out there this year. You know, we're going to find some other investment opportunities. But this is the first way. And then we got 36.50. Long term, 5 year old. Put out the good word to the culture shockers in here about the Africa ETF. And I am going to put that up right now. And that's the last gem I'm giving y'all here on the live for free. You know, you gotta join the community for more gems because there's more to come, man. We getting too deep for y'all. I gotta get off the live, man. The Africa ETF, that's a little too much gems for free. But no, definitely always invest in the motherland. Appreciate everybody that came through the live stream. I will see you all next time. I'll put out my price levels as always for the Discord community. Whatever levels you got here while we on live. If you missed anything, rewind, watch again, and write down those levels and mark your take profit and stop losses. And always do your own research. This is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes only. All right. Thank you for joining us. Culture Shock Investments is out. I'll see you all next